Everybody wants to be better at stuff. You don't need me to tell you that. But if you're like most people, you're probably thinking, I want to be better at stuff, but I don't know where to start.
Life is good, but it can be better.
That's where Skillshare comes in. They've been helping people get better at stuff for a while. And the people that'll teach you are people that are the best at said stuff. Pretty great, right? So follow the link in the description below. The first 1,000 people to click will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And after that, it's only $10 a month. But not yet. This movie ain't gonna sin itself.
Some days my childhood feels so very far away.
That's because you are very old, Diana. Very, very old. So this really isn't that much of a surprise, is it? Also, Diana Racing. The stadium is gorgeous, but it seems fairly specific to this Themysciran Olympics. What is its purpose for the rest of time? One-sided basketball court? Giant bubble blower? Quidditch field? I can't tell if these are actual competitions or just people doing a bunch of random stuff. This 2.5-hour movie begins with some sort of 11-minute Tri-Wizard decathlon, and it features young Diana learning a lesson about cheating. It has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the movie. We've already gotten tons of character development from the first movie and the other one she's been in. Why is this needed? This is the most overcomplicated ball I've ever seen in my life. Where do we draw the line on cheating? Why isn't pushing your competitor cheating? Why isn't this detour cheating? Damn it, if this is okay, I'm calling bullshit on penalizing Diana for taking a shortcut back to her horse later. There are 6 horses here when the competitors swim to the beach, but this race started with 9 people. I know that they don't expect everyone to make it to this part, but what if 7 or more racers got to the beach? And we get to the bows and arrows, there are 7 there. And to make things even weirder, the target Diana hits has a color-coded system that tells the crowd who's winning, and there are only 7 targets and 7 spots for banners. It's almost like the movie expected there to be 7 people in this race, but shortchanged the horses. And when it came time to film the start of the race, the director invited 2 more people to be in the movie. I'm trying to suspend disbelief here, but I do not accept that Diana is out swimming and outrunning the other competitors. Even with her superior strength and ability, she just looks like a kid running. Where in the name of Pegasus Ghost is this horse going? Where is it landing? What a terrible event to attend. During the main event, people cheer the lengthening of banners. They can't watch the race live and they don't have a broadcast system. They watch banners unfurl. Yay! I refuse to believe this dry concrete aqueduct has any sort of slide properties whatsoever. If you were born in 1984, you know this stunt ends like the first time you went down a metal slide wearing shorts.
You took the short path. You cheated, Diana. That is the only truth, and truth is all there is.
The short path? She clearly completed an extra obstacle that required ingenuity and strength. 5 sins for gaslighting a child. Movie is set in 1984, but Operation Wolf was created in 1987.
You don't need a pile of money or some business degree to get started. You don't even have to work hard for it.
America. This guy really walked into a mall jeweler for black market goods with no kind of face covering or mask. I've watched this man fumble his way around this bag 10 times now, and it just gets better and better each time. He almost drops the bag, moves it behind his back to stabilize it, checks his gun while swinging the bag back around to smash into the gun, which falls to the floor and sets off the entire sequence of events that leads to a need for Wonder Woman to appear. I'm saying this entire rest of the movie is somehow avoidable if he holds the bag like a normal person and walks straight. If you hate the contents of your purse enough to abandon them during fight or flight, maybe you don't need a purse.
Right there! Freeze! Stop!
How would the security guard know to focus on discount Clint Eastwood right now? Sure, the employees of the jewelry store could have described him to security, but their backstore business is black market, so they wouldn't want to draw attention to themselves. For all they know, he's just some guy casually walking away from the jewelry store. No. How does Diana even know what's going on down here? The movie gives us the impression that she's already en route to the mall when she wonder boots this car out of the way. Maybe she's just lasso of truthing her way through the city like Spider-Man, waiting for plot-convenient joggers in peril or dangling infants. Also, how did she manage to break through just the right skylight to rescue the little girl with perfect timing? This is a huge mall. Also, with all the we've seen Wonder Woman do just today, not to mention the rest of this movie, why did Batman only see pictures of her from World War I during the We've Got Sequels section of Batman v Superman? Those cameras don't have tapes inside of them, right? The footage is being recorded in some security office. Wonder Woman fights in wedges. Wedges? The stupidest shoe ever created, and that's what she fights in? This woman is walking around in the same kind of shoes that people who have "Can I speak to the manager" hair wear. We're supposed to let her save us? With moves like these, I bet Wonder Woman is super happy she destroyed all 3 cameras in this gigantic mall.
Sorry, okay?
What secret is she keeping? Is this kid going to not tell anyone about all the crazy 100 people just saw? What the f***? I know NHTSA rollover ratings were pretty terrible on most cars built before 2000, but this roof buckled faster than my friend's legs when he jumped off the high school roof wearing a cape, humming the theme song to Superman. These guys should be dead. They landed on crumpled sheet metal. I'll be damned if one of them doesn't have a punctured lung. Also, Wonder Woman is addicted to taxpayers. This picture's on for some time.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Hey, We can share if you like.
Or you could have just given it to her. Seriously though, Diana knew Steve Trevor for all of a month, and she is still crisp pining for him after 70 years. I've had a longer relationship with the squirrel that keeps stealing my bird food. Ironically, he's also called Steve. Steve. One day movies will stop using clumsiness as a character trait for their female leads, but today is not that day. Yes, I know it's supposed to be a contrast to how dexterous Barbara is once she gets her superpowers, but damn it, that does not make it any less lazy.
Sorry, it's his heels, stupid.
Blaming your heels? Yes, that is stupid, especially considering it was your hand that held the briefcase and triggered it to spring open.
Scientists don't wear heels.
Sometimes we do.
Also, movie treats walking in heels as a virtue. No one is more or less valuable based on their footwear choices.
It's me. I'm Barbara. Remember you hired me? Started last week.
Oh, gemologist.
Yes, I'm a geologist. We had a couple interviews.
In the name of Zeus's shoehorn, we get it already. His character is clumsy, forgettable, and a general nobody. Do you have to beat us over the head with it? Is the movie seriously saying that Carol had multiple interviews with Barbara, hired her, worked with her for a week, and still forgot what she looks like? Was Barbara not wearing her glasses? She's not Clark Kent.
Okay, item number 23. Shoot, that's not it. Here it is.
Here, Barbara is looking for item 23, but what she proclaims to be the correct item is actually item 24.
People think I'm weird. They avoid me and talk behind my back.
I wouldn't say they talk behind your back as much as they don't acknowledge your existence. This guy is reading Waiting for Godot, and makes me wonder if it's a play on Gal Gadot's name as some sort of a fun Easter egg. Like maybe Patty Jenkins is always waiting for Godot to get ready for her scenes or some Well, the more I think about it, the more lonely and cold I feel. Like life is meaningless. Like somehow this is both clever and stupid at the same time. That really f***s me up.
To be like Diana. Strong, sexy, cool, special.
Barbara doesn't know that Diana has superpowers, so she could literally just be wishing to be strong, sexy, cool, and special, which are all subjective. And the movie works hard to push Barbara to this point, undermining her agency as a character. Her ultimate turn to villainy would serve more as a cautionary tale if it felt like this was an option. Instead, the writers have chosen to torture her to the point where even the audience is encouraging her to make this wish just because we want the pain to stop.
Have we met before? You look familiar.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Life is good, but it can be better.
Holy shit, you're the Mandalorian!
Oh, I don't have a TV.
Vegans.
It's going to be an amazing party. I hope you have something nice to wear.
Max survives this. So Asteria was just left unattended in this hugely unsafe and poorly maintained office. There's like a billion hazards up in here. Either Raquel left him here in the first place, or she didn't call the CPS to report the mother who happily dropped him off in this crap heap.
We have oil rights on land that everyone else passed on already. It didn't take much digging to find that out.
In which case, everyone should know this pretty easily, and those who chose to invest are incredible idiots. You know what this movie doesn't have to do? It doesn't have to reduce men to panting horn dogs seconds away from dry humping a beautiful woman, and it doesn't need to make unwanted sexual attention an interesting side effect of being Wonder Woman. What's the game plan here, buddy? Kiss her so hard she loses her ability to notice you walking backwards through the door with your hand suspiciously behind your back, palming a gemstone the size of a horse's willy?
Oh, Diana, hoping I'd see you. Hey, do you know I'm at the White House now?
I'm sure this random chap is just totally random and won't turn out to be a crucial plot device later in the movie.
That's amazing.
Good to know that old man Steve can still get a plane boner after 70 years.
Would you like to see my food on?
Sure, when Chris Pine asks this, it's sexy. But when I ask this, I'm told to leave and they revoke my library card.
Oh, so this is how you found me.
Yeah, the phone book.
The real question is, why did Steve need to find her at all? She wished for him, so why wasn't he immediately in front of her after she did that?
He's great, but all I see is you.
Audience is expected to accept this bullshit as reason enough for Diana to be okay with this possession of an innocent man's body. And is the person whose body he stole dead now? Is Wonder Woman the only person that can see him?
I wish to be you.
Max Lord doesn't turn into the Dreamstone. He's simply granted the ability to grant wishes. There's a lot of weird leeway this movie expects when it comes to the stone's interpretation of what people are wishing for, and this is the cinniest. Also, it's probably about time to talk about that name, Max Lord. I think I'm done.
Been eating Pop-Tarts all morning and had about three pots of coffee.
One sin for product placement, one sin for liking Pop-Tarts, and one sin for the atrocities about to be done to that bathroom. While part of me wants to appreciate a male outfit montage, I am also annoyed that we are an hour into the movie with barely any Wonder Womaning happening. We've seen her be fawned over by horny men a whole f***ing lot. I'm sure there was the mall sequence, but come on, movie, show me some good
So funny, all this reading seems to have cured my eyesight somehow.
reading.
Yeah, but we can't get you on one because you don't have a passport.
Diana, you're Wonder Woman. You shouldn't need Steve to capture Max. She was able to wave a badge, walk in, and steal a plane from her job, and she still has one after this? There's no way in hell Steve knows what he's doing in this plane. Sure, he's a great pilot, but he was flying planes in 1918. It's like going from driving a Honda Civic to a Formula One race car.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar. I can't explain now, but they'll see us anywhere, even in the dark.
How the does this slip your mind when you're about to steal an airplane in Washington, D.C.? Like, every red flag would be flying in your head, no matter how blinded you are by Steve's dreamy blue eyes, currently nesting in someone else's skull. This invisible jet stunt just feels like pandering, and I will take off every last damn sin if Diana uses this insanely useful power again in this movie. And hey, you know when else this would have been useful? Justice League.
Approach, the aircraft has vanished. Do you have eyes on it?
Whether you can see it or not, radar still bounces off metal objects. It's almost like the movie wants to make the jet invisible, non-existent, and operable all at once.
The 4th. Of course.
The 4th of July?
Yeah, dickface, you knew it was July 4th when you looked at the airline receipt Max threw in his office wastebasket. This isn't a surprise.
I got an idea.
Is it to stop flying through pretty sky bombs? Because I hope it's to stop purposely flying through pretty sky bombs. Don't y'all have something to do? Rushing off to Cairo to stop a bad guy doesn't sound like date night material to me, but here we are.
Flight. Your gift. I'll never understand it.
Is she saying she doesn't understand how planes fly? It may be pricey, but you can get a private pilot's license in a couple months if you want to. I am sending this because Diana is an intellectually curious person, and she had like 50 years to figure this out.
That's so easy, really. It's wind and air and knowing how to ride it, how to catch it, how to join with it.
It may not be as romantic to talk about fluid dynamics, but Bernoulli's principle was established in 1738, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let you get away with this nonsensical explanation.
Barbara?
Don't you hate it when you have an interaction with two completely unrelated people in one place, then like a day or so later you somehow run into those same two unrelated people in a completely different place? A sudden wall starts appearing, because this guy wished for all the heathens who dared trod upon it to be kept out forever, but there are still plenty of people who are now trapped on the inside, right? Are we really supposed to believe this wall sprung up in the exact configuration needed to keep all the heathens he was talking about outside the wall?
This unbelievable and unexplainable wall appears to somehow be the work of a mere Saeed bin Abydos.
Who in their right mind would believe any person or government would be able to instantaneously erect such a thing? These stormtroopers put 20 rounds into the engine of this car because they're nice guys and the script asked them to. Also, why not just wait and see where Max is going rather than creating a massive dangerous situation on the roads? I know you want to stop him, like right now, but whatever happened to intelligent, patient apprehending of bad guys, especially when there isn't any imminent danger? When did she pack luggage? Did she have that on under her clothes? Lasso of truth suddenly changes into a lasso of lies. Also, the movie's about to say that the Dreamstone's price for getting Steve back is her powers, and yeah, she sort of loses them, but it's not enough to be like, holy shit, she's a weakling now. Steve and this car survived this. Seems like the sort of thing you would do before you turn into a damsel in distress needing to be saved by the big strong man. They try to create tension by making you think these kids are in danger, so Wonder Woman attempts an elaborate rescue plan in which she rides a rocket and swoops down to scoop up these kids. But she then ends up dropping them from like 2 stories and rolling over them several times. Then all the trucks swerve to avoid them. Were these kids ever in any real danger aside from the danger Wonder Woman put them in? Hilariously, Steve is the only one who almost hits them. Who are the heroes and villains of this movie? I think at this point I'm rooting more for Barbara and Max.
So who's the next closest person with oil?
Why go through all the trouble of finding people with oil when you can simply wish you have all the oil? Or, in his case, find someone to wish it for him. And why oil at all? Turns out that the magical MacGuffin stone was made by a naughty god, whose wishes come at a cost and destroy civilization. Meaning pretty much any wish other than eternal life and an ability to survive in space are useless. And yes, he should know this. He is the stone.
I said, but not now.
How is it a secret if so many people saw? Also, asking these kids to keep internal injuries a secret. If this movie had been 90% more sleuthing and investigating and 90% less 80s nostalgia and awkwardness, it would have been 100% more enjoyable. That's just basic math, people.
And my last lead is not that promising.
What's that?
A flyer I found.
Grabbed it at the embassy.
How did your research on the Dreamstone lead you to the embassy and provide you a lead that has 1 chance in a million to work? You mean you saw this flyer and saw a Mayan shaman on it and thought, here's a guy who might know Dreamstone shit. What are the odds of finding a payphone in the middle of the chaos around them that makes a clear call from Cairo to D.C.? Do you know what payphones were like in the 80s? I do. And calling across town was often a horrible connection, let alone the entire globe.
Now the culture is destroyed, wiped from the face of the earth.
Except for this pristine book with precisely the information we need.
And simply say, I wish, rather than I pray. Would that even work?
Don't worry, Maxwell. This movie doesn't give a good Zeus damn about how any of this works. I'm sure you'll be fine.
And I wish for your goodness.
Again, with the whole ambiguity of this wishing scheme, does he have to take something from his son? Did his son lose something? It seems like he got to choose what he took from all the other people. Could you imagine the weight of this scene if we had to watch Max, bound by the rules of the stone, have to make this choice?
I told a man I wanted a farm.
In what twisted world do 2 cows constitute a farm? The Luckstone is a dick to this guy.
Diana, I know it's been hard.
Skip!
You're the only joy I've had or even asked for.
Behold your powerful role model as she is reduced to an emotional mess because she loved someone once.
What's that?
The armor of an ancient Amazon warrior. One of our greatest.
Based on the upcoming description of the armor, it's super weird the way Diana just casually leads into its origin, as if we all have one of these things just sitting in our closet. Also, why is it just sitting in the corner of this room like an old TV set she doesn't use anymore?
The lasso does more than just make you tell the truth. It can make you see it too.
This all seems like it's going to be important later, but maybe they could have used the previous hour and 40 minutes to introduce some of these pretty cool things. That would have been interesting to learn about more, or maybe even see in action.
Her name was Asteria.
Once again, movie is ground to a halt by expositional foreshadowing. Before shutdown nailing?
All I could find was her armor.
Where the hell did Asteria leave this thing? In the closet of a loft in Soho? Diana lucks out and finds the one guy who's in love with her at the White House, completely free to do whatever Diana needs him to do at a moment's notice. Of course, Diana and Steve will give this dude the slip and walk to some restricted area of the White House, but somehow completely miss the Secret Service, because after all, there are so many places in the White House you can wander around with no one looking.
What's this? Global broadcast satellite. Top secret program that enables us to override any broadcast system in the world.
I'm sorry, that was me throwing my BS-o-meter out the window after it caught fire from listening to this bullshit. Movie wants to tell us that the exact bit of experimental tech that Maxwell needs to reach the world just so happens to be in the White House, being discussed at the exact time Maxwell wishes for this spontaneous meeting with the president. A few minutes ago, the president said he wasn't even here, so what? They just left this highly secret presentation out for the last however long?
Uses particle beam technology just like the Star Wars program.
Oh, you nearly got me.
Apparently it bathes the landscape in a signal of particles that goes in and fiddles with any technology it touches.
You said touches?
He did, but not the way Max hopes. But the movie will make it mean that anyway. The absolutely devastating weakening of Diana's powers continues. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but believe me when I tell you that Diana's range of motion is limited by her useless booby armor. Just to be clear, Diana isn't okay with shooting a bullet at a man, but she is okay dropping him to the ground via vase shards to the jugular.
Barbara.
How the f*** did Barbara know that Wonder Woman was fighting Max here at the White House at this moment? And how did she make her way through the White House? Jeez, security here is worse than it was in Olympus Has Fallen.
Can't let you do this, Diana.
Whoa, Nelly, how does Barbara know Wonder Woman is Diana? How did she see through her disguise?
You've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing.
Barbara has known Diana maybe 3 days, a week at best. How does she know that Diana has always had everything? The speech is as stupid as those tights she's wearing.
Yes, you're strong, but what did you lose, Barbara? Where's your warmth, your joy, your humanity?
Diana asks this as if losing those things is in any way a punishment for wishing to be strong. It's a bad thing for other people, sure, but it's not in any way like the other negative things people have had to deal with after their wishes. We never get the sense that Barbara really feels like those are devastating things to lose.
Sir, you need to wait. The president has a meeting right now.
Surely in the event of nuclear emergencies, these generals wouldn't have to fight to get to the president. I'm pretty sure imminent nuclear winter supersedes any meetings he might have.
I'll never love again.
If it means we don't have to see this bullshit in the next movie, I'm okay with that. If it means we get to see a strong woman in the lead who isn't crippled by love, I'm okay with that. God, they have reduced this powerhouse of a woman to a crumpling pile of emotional debris, haven't they?
I can't say goodbye.
He ate Pop-Tarts in bed. In bed! Let him go. Apparently her lasso can attach itself to the departing soul of her dead love, thus propelling her toward her destiny.
It's only wind and air.
Diana learns to fly by remembering something vague a World War I pilot said about flying, and this works.
But you only get one wish.
But I, my dear, grant the wishes.
This movie has followed the one wish per person rule from the very start. Now it says people can have another wish if they want because Max says so. Earlier he really wanted an aide to wish that he could visit the president, but because he already had used that wish on a Porsche, he couldn't use the aide the way he wanted. Now the movie says, F that.
An apex predator. Like nothing there's ever been before.
So definitely not a cheetah then? Also, cheetahs are not considered apex predators. At best, they're high-level mesopredators.
And I sure wish this works for me. Don't you?
Yes, sir.
How is this even a real wish? Pretty sure this guy's intention was just agreeing with a figure of speech. This isn't granting wishes, it's just granting casual suggestions. Oh, how is it taking over computers in the 80s? No!
I wish all you Irish bastards would get sent back to where you came from.
And I guess this guy isn't Irish, since only the people outside the shop start getting arrested. Yes, telling everyone at once they can have their wish would undoubtedly create massive chaos around the world, but how many wishes are being made that are contradictory? Like what if there's a guy who wishes for world peace, and another person who asks for nothing but anarchy? This also presumes everyone would be wishing for something selfish. I guarantee hundreds of thousands of people would do that world peace thing and never get it granted. Wait, I was under the presumption that she's been going after Max Lord for the past 5 minutes of this movie. They were at the White House, and she lives in D.C. Max and Barbara flew all the way to wherever this bunker is. And in that same time period, Wonder Woman was just flying back to her apartment? Did we ever find out how Wonder Woman found this place? Is it because of that scene earlier where she rode the lightning with her lasso? Did the lightning tell her? As much as Diana hyped this armor, I don't understand why she needs it. Or at least why she thinks she needs it. She told Steve that her ancestor used it to protect herself from a huge army. But she's faced far worse than this, and the main bad guy isn't even all that physically dangerous, and she doesn't know Barbara turned into a cheetah yet. Scene does not include a Mungo Jerry. Over a decade of the modern superhero movie, and we are still ending these things with basically a same versus same battle of punches and kicks that we know can't really do any damage to either character. Why does Diana take off her wings here? Are they slowing her down? Even a broken shield provides some sort of protection. Doesn't she know this will lower her armor class? No one will be seated during the unexpected Cirque du Soleil portion of the movie.
Then I'm so sorry.
The pandemic for robbing us all of the experience of hundreds of children screaming in terror as their hero straight up murders someone. Sure, Barbara doesn't die, but in this glorious moment of drowning and electrifying, we don't know that.
Make a wish! Any wish!
I wish this movie would end. This flashback to Lord's childhood would have been far more effective 2 hours ago. It could have provided some great context for the movie's villain. Instead, we spent this whole time thinking he's just chasing power for power's sake. His abusive childhood is an important arc that would have made for a much more relatable villain, but nope.
I renounce my wish!
I renounce my wish.
This f***ing movie. It needs everyone in the world to renounce their wish so that everything can go back to normal, but it assumes everyone would do the right thing. And even if 99.9% of the people renounce their wish, and they wouldn't, we all know Fred would f*** this up. Fred. Max runs around somewhere random and finds his son almost immediately. Also, good to know that the guy who flew him to the secret base was still available to fly him back to the mainland after we saw everybody run out of that place in terror.
I just wish and I pray that one day I'll be able to make you proud enough that you'll be able to forgive me.
Good luck making your son proud of you in prison, because you are definitely going to prison after this, right? No, movie, this little exchange, although sweet, does not excuse what Diana has done to this man. This movie will never end. Can't wait to see her flying around in her next adventure.
But I've been doing this a long time.
Ma'am, who are you winking at? Ma'am? I mean, thanks for saving my baby, but that was weird.
Ixnay on the wishing for more wishes.
Only the best folks make it to the end of a Sins video, and you deserve to be rewarded for your persistence with some new skills learned on Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. I'm going to check out Artivism, create inspiring art for change, because I could stand to be better at art, and I like inspiring change. Skillshare isn't like other services out there. It allows you to learn skills from the folks that know them best, and it gets better. Not only do you have the best people to learn from, but you can connect with other skill seekers on the platform who can support and encourage you throughout your learning journey. Take that free time and turn it into something worthwhile. Head to the link in the description to sign up, and if you're one of the first 1,000 folks to click the link, you'll get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And after that, it's only $10 a month. Why are you still here listening to me? There's clearly a better way to spend your time. Go click that link and sign up for Skillshare.
Excellent!
On your left.
Wish I had $1 million. Hot dog!
You're getting weaker, Diana. What if you fall?
Why do we fall? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
What is there to wish for but more? More nuclear weapons?
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
Treat me like a foreign nation with absolute autonomy.
Diplomatic community. I'll always love you, Diana, no matter where I am.
What is grief, if not love persevering?
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
I'm sorry. It's too late. I'm regenerated.
All right, pal. It's time to go.
Humbug.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.